What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video today I just wanted to discuss an article that I read which was talking about the removal of the word BAME to represent black people. Now BAME stands for Black, Asian, Minority, Ethnic Group, which is code for, let's be honest, non-white. And there seems to be ever-increasing pressure to drop this term because black people specifically deem this term to be offensive. They deem it to be really too inclusive. So they want their own separate niche group. I say niche, but they want their own separate group just to be called black. Now on the screen, you'll see part of this article written by Kehinde Andrews talking about I am not your BAME person. The link will be posted in the description box below where you can see the full article in its full context. On the screen, it's just a part of that, which kind of just sums up in my mind what this whole article is all about. So Kehinde Andrews is an academic who speaks often about many pro-black topics that you've all been accustomed to by now in regards to, as you can imagine, institutional racism, policies and structural issues that black people face. So when I saw this article was written by him, I knew exactly where this piece was going, and true to form, it did not disappoint. Now, in response to this, I did tweet that the issue seems to be is the constant changing of the accepted term that black people like to be referred to as. Because here Kehinde seems to be of the notion that the acceptable term that we should all call us is black people because this links us to our heritage in Africa. However, I did note that because when I personally spoke to people from Africa, and when I've heard them speak again on maybe social media outlets or videos, as you can imagine, a lot of Africans don't actually like using that word black. They don't refer to themselves as black, but they refer to themselves as African. And therein lies the problem. Depending on who you speak to, and even what age group that you speak to of the same group, determines whether or not a term is acceptable or offensive. I mean, I remember back in the day, going back to my childhood, when if it was to call someone an African, that was deemed a diss, especially in Ethiopia. I don't know really what that was all about, but to call someone African was used as a diss. And then you have my grandparents' generation who used the term coloured because that was the correct term that they used. Not to mention all the other terms that interpersonally between black people they use to each other. And we all know what terms I'm talking about. But there are a lot of other terms that a lot of other people, white people, don't know what black people call each other. So this is where it all gets confusing. And this is where madness gets ensued. And inevitably, someone will trip up. So my question is, how do we proceed in future with this? What is the acceptable term? How do we come up to an agreement to say, do you know what? All of us have agreed in the UK that we shall be known by as X, Y, or Z. Because inevitably, depending on the age group of the person, someone will trip up and will definitely say the wrong thing. And again, this could be based on something like they're of a certain age group where when they were younger, it was drilled in their head to use this term. Someone else was drilled in their head to use that term. So the question is, how is it that we link it all together and just say, look, certain age groups have different terms and it's difficult to get it out of their head because they'll have recent events like the Greg Clark situation where he clearly stated why he used that term because not only was it of a different age bracket where he was drilled in the head what the right term was, but he was even in a different country operating where they had even more different terms. So you see how this becomes a minefield designed to trip people up, which would always result in someone saying that is not the term that I like to be called or referred to. Therefore, depending on who you are, you may lose your job and your livelihood, or for a term which you, for all intents and purposes, were told is the right term to use. And this is why I can imagine 20 years from now, this conversation will come up again. Because, again, at this stage, it'll be, well, the word black, that's not a term that I like to be used because that refers to everything negative and all things bad. And we shouldn't call ourselves black. We should call ourselves African or Nubian king, Nubian princess, Nubian queen. You see how madness this gets? So let me know your thoughts on this. What do you prefer to be called? Do you not like the word BAME? Do you want to be called black, African? What is the term that you like to be used? Because personally, I've always gone by the term black. That's something I've always identified as. It is what it is. But I do not trip people up on this situation here because I know a lot of times some things are meant not intentionally to offend. It's actually meant not to offend. But again, people take it as offensive. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you prefer to be called? Until next time, I'm out.